Welcome everyone to Golden Hammer Gaming Season 6 semifinals between Obfuscation and Omega Redemption. I'm Ryan, Yano, whatever you want to call me, and I'm here with Gambito. How are you doing, Gambito?
Doing good, Ryan. Huh. So, we've seen this game play out before, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I think we have seen it.
We
Should be
have...
a pretty good one.
It will be. Yeah, last time, Mega Redemption and Obfuscation, they ended up going to map 5, and I believe they went to map 5 round 3 on Control. With that coming out, Obfuscation ended out on top, but it was almost a 99-99 victory. But here we are coming out. We have a Mega Redemption coming out on the Farah comp. They're tried and true. If I can figure out where to go. Tried and true, and you see Obfuscation coming out on this Rhine Brawl style.
Yeah, so it's a little bit more open of a map. It's going to be a little bit interesting to see how this brawl does against Omega Redemption's dive, but we shall see. But it looks like Obfuscation has been able to scarily take the point without getting that many casualties. And Respite just takes out Ultra Rex and Lunar Storm takes 2. So that's a very good start for Obfuscation in my opinion. And it should be the first fight win. Probably gets him up to about 30 before the next fight.
Gambito, I think you need to go a little bit louder.
Oh. Okay.
There you go.
Might be. But anyways, a Diva swap comes in, still a pharmacy happening here. And Omega Redemption looking just to posture on point, see what happens here. Fashion just kind of dancing around. But yeah, the Storm Snipe is able to snipe out Ultra Rex there, and our Spike's just trying to go in for something to happen, but the Baby Diva's, not the Baby Diva, but the Diva's going around. Barrage comes along, not much happening on the side of, oh, SR though, takes out 2. And gets a 3rd. Omega Redemption takes the point, Obfuscation up to 51%.
And
Just
this
a
is
little
the
bit of a
stagger
stagger
of anything. Fulligan just doesn't know to die.
Yeah.
I hate to
So,
see it, but it is what
exactly.
happens.
So now back onto this. So Mega Redemption swapped over to Diva Comp. Actually looks a little bit more comfortable compared to the Monkey Dive. Just seems to know what to do a little bit better against the Bastion of Apu. And coming back in, Respite is now leading the charge, looking to do something. Just basically chasing the Diva out, but a Pulse Bomb comes in, gets Storm Snipe. On that, Fulligan's window does come out, and the Valk comes in return. And SR is able to get Fulligan out of there. And right now, Lunar is trying to run away, keep their life intact, but they cannot. It's another win for Omega Redemption. 52% and counting on the side of Omega Redemption.
I'll say it's
And a
looking
few,
coming the side of Mega Redemption. I mean, they're coming up. They have another barrage online. They have that bomb coming
yeah.
out from Diva. Sune Rush.
Yeah, and right now it looks like Dark Zephyr is just looking for an angle to use that. Barrage, and as I said that, they use it. Lunar, though, does come out with the beat and is able to save at least a few. Maverick gets 2 with the overclock, but Lindy Hop is able to get back Ultra X. Lex takes down Respite and cancels the ult. Coming out, and now it's just a little bit of staggers on point with Lunar just trying to dance around, maybe getting out, but should be able to. Yep, and Final Fight territory coming up. Dark Zephyr, though, used a little bit, but unfortunately, Obfuscation used more and does not have anything to re-engage on this. There's 3% left, and they might be able to get a touch with the Respite, yeah. Just that all sides are being battered. There's a lot coming in on the side of Omega Redemption. They're just looking for something. The Diva Bomb the Diva gets demeched. Bomb comes out, Flex gets Lunar, Storm gets Ultra X, but it's trading on the side of Mega Redemption, even though Obfuscation did flip the point over. SR gets Storm, Flex gets Respite, and Zephyr takes out Maverick, the last remaining member. That should be this point going over to Mega Redemption.
It was. It looks like, I mean, what can you say? Obfuscation, they just kept doing the same thing over and over again and didn't, you know. thought it would go a different way every single time. It seems like they just kept a little bit stalling out, and Omega Redemption had the number. They just surrounded them and let Dark Zephyr kind of just do what they needed to do.
Yeah, there was very little pressure onto that far, kind of let him reign free for the most part. It's kind of hard to do though with a Reinhardt. Reinhardt can't really challenge, only block the way for the Pharah. But going into this point, it seems like Obfuscation is going to come out with a diva of their own and try to combat the Pharah a little bit more with a cast BAP setup with a Mercy, and it looks like the dive, just a pure dive comp coming out inside of Omega Redemption, going back to the monkey comp. And as both teams come out, Omega Redemption does get a little bit ahead. I mean, get to the upper side a little bit faster than Obfuscation. Respite now just trying to chase out Flex, but they're encapsulating. Omega Redemption is encircling, but Maverick is able to take care of Flex. First member goes down on the side of Omega Redemption. Just a little bit of a poke battle here. Respite is just chasing out a couple of the last remaining members that are still trying to challenge the point, and point goes over to Obfuscation.
It does, and I will say that fight really was close. It could have went either way. SR is being a menace in the backline Obfuscation so far.
Yeah, compared to last round and now they're just keeping up their performance. But right now, Omega Redemption just looking for their way into this point, just kind of getting a little bit of poke here. Obfuscation just going to try to weather the storm. But Storm and Lunar, though, could be the prime targets, as Lunar does pull out the Glock just to scare away SR a little bit. Vlex, though, is starting to challenge, does go in, does use the bubble, but unfortunately doesn't have any help, and Storm is able to get the kill onto him. And Respite just chasing away SR. Dark Zephyr and Lindy Hop just trying to do something, but they cannot. Ultrarex, unfortunate TP timing, and that's the point. And
Yeah, I was
that's
gonna
the
say
end of the
Ultra Rex really didn't have a good TP there, right into the overclock.
Yeah, but as the swaps go, Vlex now goes onto the Sigma, so a little bit more standing for Omega Redemption. Hopefully withstand some of this. Respite is on the Diva, so if they do want to challenge, the backline of Omega Redemption should be in favor of Obfuscation, but Vlexa should be able to put in some good damage. Won't really be all that much challenged over here. As of right now, Respite just trying to hold. The overclock does come out as long as the window from Obfuscation. Just trying to put away, or keep Omega Redemption away from this point. SR is able to get Storm sniped. The Kitsune Rush coming out from Omega Redemption. SR finds one. The Res did try to come out from Lunar, but SR finds Lunar as well. And now it's just Stagger on point, 99% though, so it's final fight for Obfuscation when they do get back.
Yep. I mean, it just came down to it that Omega Redemption, they were able to pull their ults a little bit better. But they did invest everything into that fight compared to Obfuscation. They still have the two ults on the side with the High Noon and the bomb, Diva Bomb coming out.
Yeah.
So,
they're just in a much better position for Omega Redemption right now. Sigma doesn't really want to run around. Just able to stand there for the most part. Respite is trying to force people off the high ground right now, just trying to challenge or slowly encroach. Luna, though, does have to be careful because SR is looking for something in the back line. Flex is trying to challenge this upper area for it. Dark Zephyr, though, does find Lunar, so Omega Redemption is up one. Is very dangerous for Obfuscation if they want to continue. They just need to look for someone to get down. Flex's hands are being forced out. Respite's just trying to do something right now, but SR finds Fulligan and Dark Zephyr finds Maverick. This should be the end of the fight for Obfuscation, but it does look like Storm wants to fight a little bit, but gives his life up for the challenge.
yeah, I mean, Obfuscation had what they needed. They pushed Omega Redemption off the point. They just didn't. They just stood there. They didn't end up doing anything. And Omega Redemption did the right thing. They played it slow. They played their own pace. They let SR get value in the back line, and then they finally poked them all out.
Yeah, it is 74% and counting as of right now. Alts are in favor of. Actually, alts are actually pretty even overall. They are. Obfuscation is opening up with a high noon, seeing if they can get the clocks to counting down onto Omega Redemption, but unfortunately it finds nothing. The rush does come out on the side of Omega Redemption. The pulse comes out, unfortunately isn't that dangerous, but Lex does find Lunar Storm. Fulligans and the bomb from Obfuscation does come out. Dark Zephyr though does find Fulligan. No sports are left for Obfuscation. Maverick, so Overclock may come out. Yeah, Dark Zephyr still comes out first and is able to clean it up. And it looks like Obfuscation, unfortunately, is not going to be able to reclaim this point. Omega Redemption wins 2-0 and takes the series lead at 1-0.
They do. And it honestly, Mega Redemption look really good and really strong. They know their comps, they're making the changes, they're doing what they need to do.
Yeah, it just seems to be some stubbornness from the side of Obfuscation in terms of just want to stick their course. But Omega Redemption just had the had their number on those. My brain no function at time. All right, and going into the next one, it should be an escort, correct, or is it hybrid?
Let's check. I don't remember off the top of my head. As I try to edit the scores and I keep editing them wrong. Do. I ask this every single time and I forget every single time. We are going to hybrid next. So right now, it's Kings Row, Blizzard World, or Midtown. I said stuff to other people, but for those out there that don't know, and I don't know if you knew this, Gambito, Blizzard World, the normal map, is actually removed from Overwatch right now.
Do we have the replacement for that?
No, yeah, Blizzard World Winter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, something
So
happened
we're
when
getting into the festive spirit.
Yeah,
right
I was gonna
now.
say something with the new patch that just dropped. There was two things that affected. It was the Blizzard Town normal and Rialto.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean the winter's
That's
in, so
very
okay.
specific.
Yeah.
That's very specific. It's like, yes, we screwed up the normal one, but winter's just fine. We're gonna run that. But
Yeah, I
if
mean
I do have to guess right now, I would say Obfuscation is more than likely than not going to pick that Kings Row map, most likely. So they do seem to want to brawl.
by what they're
And
trying to play, yes, I think King's Row's probably going to be their best, but I wouldn't put it against them. They do like to play a very pokey comp at the same time. They like to put if I remember going back, Mev likes to be on the Ash or Sojourn. Storm likes to be on the Torb. So Blizzard World may not be a bad pick for them as well. And you're right; they're choosing King's Row.
yep.
Because I think Omega Redemption, not to put anything against them, I think they also have a very good brawl team together. Um, they
I thought.
have been known to play the Sim Brawl variant,
Mhm.
and they also put SR on the Bastion.
Okay. Yeah, because I think when we previously casted them, I thought they were more of a dive team. But that was long ago.
Yeah,
Patches have come out, changes have been made, so we'll just have to wait and see what happens.
oh yeah.
Unfortunately, Malga's not introduced into our tournament yet, so that's unfortunate. But anyways,
Yeah.
more on that
So
character later.
yeah, I was gonna say we did talk about. I mean, before the stream, we were talking about Maga and Affected.
Mhm.
I think he is just an interesting character. I don't know if I like him. I don't know if I hate him. He's just
I
like
think better Roadhog. That's what I think.
he is basically better Roadhog. He's basically if you are Malga, you only focus the other tank, and that's about it. Like that is
Yes.
literally your job is just burn the other tank and then move on.
Funny thing that happened in Scrim yesterday. I was playing Ramatra. The other guy was playing Mauga, and we just had a face off in my ult because just in um Nemesis form, just the endless block. I just had a support on me the entire time. I was trapped in the Mauga cage.
Yeah,
And
I think
it
I
was
think
just a funny interaction because the Maug is just staring at me, just blasting me down. I'm just blocking and having a support just pocket me. So none of us were dying. It was just me and the Mauga staring at each other. It was very funny.
yeah, I think he's definitely going to be interesting. I don't think in team settings he's going to be great, but I think you're right. I think he will be like a Roadhog kind of character that people are going to pick him in comp and just
Yeah.
carry lobbies.
I could
Like,
see him being used in a team setting as an anti-dive character because Winston, Doomfist, and Diva all don't exactly have the best time with Mauga. So,
I think no, I think Divas could be great.
it's good until you run out of defense matrix,
Yeah, I was gonna say you just gotta burn him before defense matrix is done.
No, it's called kill everyone else on the team but Mauga. Then you're good. Hopefully your defense matrix lasts for that long. But anyways, going back to this match. On the Sigma poke comp from Obfuscation, a
Mhm.
dive with Pharah for Omega Redemption. So by the looks of it, it's pretty much same comp. So Obfuscation though showing up with something a little bit different.
Yep. I would say
It
Lunar
might
Storm.
just be a setup.
Yeah, Lunar Storm's coming over. Logan swap over the Brig. I think SR is being a little bit of difficulty. I think this is a good swap over that's happening right here.
Yeah, it gives
But
Fulligan a little bit more time to be alive and also gives Maverick a little bit more free reign. But as we start out, Dark Zephyr just looking to put some pressure in. Oh, Respite just kind of doing their own thing, and SR trying to get a little bit of a flank angle right now. It's just gonna be a little bit slow, but Iraq does come out and does hit Dark Zephyr. Very nice way in there. Lunar though does get caught out unfortunately, and Zephyr gets the finish on that. Flex did a really good job at just blocking him off. And now Obfuscation is being forced underneath the bridge area in the tunnel. Could be a little bit dangerous for them, and then Nade comes in, unfortunately doesn't find anything, but the sleep is able to get what it wants. And SR is just causing mayhem in the backline of Obfuscation. Window does come out, so Respite's going to be a little bit low for healing right now, but Flex isn't able to really finish up anything and trades out his life. Ultra Rex does go up top, tries to throw a nade in, doesn't find much, but Mulligan is able to get the kill on the Ultra Rex, stealing that out from Maverick. And Obfuscation able to hold through even though they lost Lunar very early into that fight.
yeah, that was Obfuscation had a good rotation back to Arches. Why that was very questionable to get back there. They were able to sustain, and Omega Redemption just played it a little slow. I would say,
Yeah.
but you have Dark Zephyr coming up that barrage right now, and no answers on the side of Obfuscation.
Yeah, Maverick does get caught out and does get taken out at the very end, tail end of that dive. Lunar though is going for a little bit of a risky res, was able to get it off before they were forced off of it. Respite now just trying to anchor the point, try to pressure out that Ana, keep her at bay, just to force Vlex to play a little bit more securely. But Dark Zephyr is on a magical journey of their own. So looking for something in the back. Right now, Obfuscation just chasing down Ultra Rex is able to finish it, and they just kind of flip the map. But Dark Zephyr does find Storm Snipe in return, and Respite is trying to just hold the line right now. Maverick and Fulligan both get one. Lindy is able to get Dark Zephyr back. Fulligan's window does come out. Same with the Flux. Unfortunately, doesn't find anything. And Obfuscation is winning the fight, but it's a little bit of investment from both.
I'll say
Nano
it's
comes in, and
it's
this
such
is just a
scrappy
continuing fight right now. Legs finds Lunar, Dark Zephyr finds Fulligan and Storm. And there, Maverick gets one on the exit, and Respite falls. So this should be a fight going to Omega Redemption after a very long fight that just happened.
That was just a back and forth, and who's going to be the one to focus down more targets? Omega Redemption, they did it. All, they were the ones coming out on top.
Yeah. It all started from a cascading event of Maverick going down, being caught out, and right now, Big Name comes in from Ultra Rex. Ultra Rex is now just trying to scamper out of there, is able to do that. And now Dark Zephyr once again is probably going to look for a magical journey around the team of obfuscation and look for something big. And Nate does come in. Unfortunately, doesn't find anything. Not really much is happening on either side. Flex is just pushing the card. Storm is holding it at bay for the most part. While it does come out and the rock, unfortunately, Flex is not able to go down. The bubble comes in there. Anti did find something, and Respite being very dangerous goes into Fulligan and almost takes him out. Flex and Dark Zephyr, though, both able to find one. And the ult from Storm does come out. A little bit questionable, in my opinion,
Yeah.
but a little bit maybe of an overcommitment. Maybe a call came through. We shall not know, but it's fight going to Omega Redemption.
Yeah, and there you can see Obfuscation's coming up with a swap here where they're going on to their own dive variant. Looks like they're
Yeah.
trying to put stuff down, but they still don't have really an answer to Dark Zephyr.
And Dark Zephyr has just been right now the linchpin for this comp. Obfuscation might need just to come out with something that cancels it. But right now Respite's looking for Ultra Rex, might be able to find it, but SR found Maverick before that. Dark Zephyr gets out Lunar and both supports, or I should say one of the supports of Obfuscation went down. Lindy is able to get back their support of their own. And right now it looks like Omega Redemption is going to be able to withstand and get this second point.
Yeah, that started off good, and then again, it's Omega Redemption's having a lot of patience in these fights, which is going very well for them.
Dark Zephyr, as we see, goes over down to the Sojourn just for extra pressure on this point. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like Obfuscation's close to many ults. Respite is probably going to be able to build up that Primal Rage soon, but the Nano comes in and is just able to force Obfuscation back, really. Not much really needed to force him back, but Maverick is being challenged by a couple, by Dark Zephyr and SR. Dark Zephyr, though, is able to finish it. Storm, though, can find the Ultra Rex, and they've been Respite power-ups Primal. Big Anti does come in. They might be able to get Lindy, but no. Pulse does find Fall again on the side of Obfuscation, but Respite finds Dark Zephyr, and it's a pretty even fight right now, but Omega Redemption thinks they can win it. They jumps back in. Ultra Rex is coming back. Lindy Hop gets Lunar, but Maverick gets SR, so in terms of members for either side, it's 3 for 3. Now a fourth coming from Obfuscation, but Respite is cut off from the healing, and Maverick's being chased out by Vlex. And right now, it's just kind of an even fight. It's just one long fight that's continuously going on. Once again, Respite and Lunar just trying to take out Flex, but Flex's Primal Rage keeps him in this fight. More fighting is happening. Not much is dying. Everything is just sustaining right now. It's gonna, but as I said that, SR takes out Lunar Storm. Ultra Rex does to go down to Respite. SR gets full again, and Storm does get a Nano Blade, but isn't going to be able to find much, and SR just is able to take out Respite. Omega Redemption is withstanding. They're continuing on. They're just trading members out just to keep this card going, and they should be able to get Storm Snipe, but no, Storm Snipe is able to live right now, surprisingly enough, but he finally falls. I should say Dark Zephyr also, I should say Ultra Rex gets both Lunar and Storm. And Respite right now, one of the final members on the point, just trying to hold it. And Dark Zephyr's ult gets pulled, but 3-4 members now fall. Lunar's the last person to try to contest, but it's not able to. Chaos at its finest, ladies and gentlemen. The Overwatch was.
Very much chaos, chaos, chaos. I don't say it was, but honestly, looking at that first point, how the first point and the second point went, only getting 34 seconds left on the clock is actually a big thing for Obfuscation.
Yeah, for Obfuscation, yeah.
I would say it looked like there would have been like 1 to 2 minutes still on the clock, but there's a chance that even if they do cap, even if they cap in overtime, that they will be able to get time back on and get another attack.
Mhm. Yeah. And as we come back into the next round of this map, it looks like Dive coming back up from Omega Redemption. And it looks to be that Obfuscation is favoring a dive of their own, but we'll just have to, excuse me, wait and see to what happens here. Lunar and Fulligan kind of still waiting, still trying to decide what they want to do.
I wonder if they're trying to go full dive, if they're trying to debate having a scrappy backline like they had before. But yeah, they're waiting up until the clock. Maybe they're debating us. Oh,
Oh no, Respite goes over to the Sigma. It's looking more like a Pokemon into Omega Redemption's dive. And Dark Zephyr now on the Sojourn isn't really favoring the far as of right now. And Respite gonna be leading the charge. Nade comes in, does not hit anything. And trying to block off the healing from Flex, is able to get a rock on. I think does deny the jump into the team. But goes up, tries to find Storm. Storm might be stuck in there, is able to get out. And SR is looking for a flank. They do give up. Omega Redemption does give up one tick as of right now. And they're just trying to circle obfuscation right now. And
I'm saying, I mean, this is good. Obfuscation is slowly getting part. I mean, no one's died yet. They're almost at 2 ticks right now. And Lindy Hop's the first one to go down. Ultra X is going down next. This looks all on the side of Obfuscation, but with that, Fulligan does get picked. I think Gambito left. Alright, and that was Obfuscation. They came out and they were able to get it. With 5 minutes left. Only SR remains. Might be able to get out. Yep, there we go. So Obfuscation made their adjustments to the team and they were able to get back in. We'll see right now. It looks like Omega Redemption, they're going back to their fair comp. They said, hey, this is going to work out a little bit more. Maybe swapping over to the pocketed Sojourn was the best pick for Obfuscation during that map. But we have Ultra X coming up with the Nano. We have Pulse Bomb on SR, which has always been a great one. And on the side of Obfuscation, you have the Lift as well as the Valk coming online. Right now, Obfuscation is in a good place. They were to get the card around the second corner on King's Row. So getting through the choke, especially with the Pharaohs, people just stop playing Overwatch. Getting through is very good. Here's Lift coming out from her Spite. They're able to pick the Ana up. The Ana goes down quick. You have Dark Zephyr standing behind, poking them all out. We'll see what happens. We have the Valk coming on. They're able to stop the res. Pulse Bomb comes out and gets 2. Or Pulse Bomb comes out and gets the Mercy. But Obfuscation is still pushing the cart. There's only Dark Zephyr standing behind. There's 3 and 3. Huge rock coming out from her Spite onto Dark Zephyr. And SR is looking to maybe get a last second contest before the clock goes in. Yep, Dark Zephyr is able to touch. Comes out with Vlex and the Nanoed Monkey coming out next. Reinforcements are coming back from Obfuscation. They have the ults. They're not choosing not to pull them early, and they're starting to they already have a pick on the side of Mega Redemption. Ultra X coming out with a big sleep. Vlex starting to take some space and starting to push Obfuscation back. They're playing it slow, but Mega Redemption is just wasting their time.
My ultimate is charged.
Alright, so we have the Barrage about to be online on the side of Mega Redemption. You have the Primal, and you have the Overclock coming in soon. Respite with a huge rock. Storm Snipe going down. The Primal coming out. Right now, is it going to be... Nope, just the Ana on point. They're able to get the res off on Storm Snipe. All the ults are coming out. Storm Snipe with 1. We have the Overclock coming from Rivera. Coming out. The Monkey gets rocked from Respite. The... Ana gets res in the middle of the team. This is still going back and back. Dark Zephyr goes down. Both DPS down on both sides. All it is supports and for both teams. Neither of them can die. It's just the Mercy left. inside of Mega Redemption, and Obfuscation finally can cap the 3rd point. Holy.
Sounds like a lot happened while I was away.
It was a lot just happened. Whew. Alright, hopefully you're back in. So you have a Mega Redemption actually swapping over to the May Sim Brawl. So as I talked about, this is what one of their strong points. They can do this May Sim. They're really strong about teleporting around. Their coordination is very well. There's Obfuscation. Fulgan trying to escape and is able to go around. They've now separated the front and back line. Lamp comes out from Omega Redemption. Still, Mev goes down. The charge coming out from Vlex. This looks like it should be a fight for Omega Redemption to win here. And Lunar, for some reason, wanting to kill Mev again, getting out the very, very questionable res.
Mev is able to get out though using the slide. Never mind. The Gaster Curse does come through as I thought of that line. And I have no idea where to begin here. It is 2:30 left on the clock, so a few fights left for Obfuscation. They do swap over to this Ram Brawl, which should be in their favor a little bit, but a window does come out, so a little bit dangerous for Obfuscation to really push through. Just gonna wait it out for the most part. Lunar is tempting fate and just saying, hey, what's up to the other team. And now Obfuscation is starting their charge back in. Right now Respite's just trying to force Ultra Rex off of his perch, and now they're starting to challenge their way into it. And Storm's time. Oh, and SR on the team of Omega Redemption griefs Vlex and isn't able to. The B comes out and the window from Obfuscation also comes out. And Obfuscation right now in the lead. They're looking to push ahead with what they have.
They are.
And
I was gonna say,
yeah.
they're coming up with the OC on the side of Obfuscation, but you have that Blizzard and the Symmetra wall on the side of Omega Redemption. That Blizzard, there's no answer. Lunar's gotta get this beat, or Lunar's gotta die.
Yeah. Lunar dies, the wall does come out. There's a minute 18 left, and Obfuscation should just run for the hills, try to live for another fight. But Storm does get Flex on the outside of that, so they should be able to get a quick re-engage onto this.
This is, and that right there, honestly, Lunar going down probably helped the team a lot, because now that beat is online, there's 4 ults almost on the side for Obfuscation. There's the Blizzard coming out. Let's see, Lunar's going to come out with the beat. Window goes down. All the ults coming out from Obfuscation, and they're
coming out.
Yeah,
and they do
there's the last one.
More time. Yeah, Respite's Annihilation comes out. Finds 3 at the end of that fight. It just forces Omega Redemption back towards their spawn.
It was, and there you go. It went from a very scrappy second point, which it looked like it could have went any other way. But here we go. Obfuscation's able to start bringing it back. They're up with a minute 8 on the time bank compared to Omega Redemption's 1 minute.
Yeah. We'll have to see if Obfuscation still wants to stick with their Ram comp, or if they want to go back to their Sig comp. We'll have to see. Omega Redemption, though, does look to want to go back to the Pharah, which has been their key to this entire comp right now. This is what they've been doing all game for the most part. This is the kind of their bread and butter.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see if Flex is going to come out on the Monkey or come out on something else. But here we go. Yeah, we have almost the matching. We have the Pocketed Sojourn, and I think they're moving Stormsnipe over the Tracer, even if they don't win it. As long as he can keep SR off the back line, that's going to be great for Obfuscation. Just a little bit of time.
Respite coming back on the Diva. But Dirk Zephyr, though, choosing against them. Farah's pick is now going over to Sojourn. Vlex is on the Monkey, so we're seeing the Monkey dive here against Diva for the most part. And this shall be interesting. Stormsnipe and SR is going to be a major matchup to watch right now. SR is kind of just walking around right now, just kind of doing their own thing. Respite's anchoring. Vlex, though, does challenge Lunar Storm, and
Oh,
Maverick though is the one to go down, but the res should be able to get him back up. And right now, Omega Redemption just kind of encircling the point, is able to make their own mark right now. Respite might be able want to challenge this to avoid giving up a tick, and is doing that, but is unfortunately is in the monkey bubble. SR gets Storm on this, and Respite gets demacked, so should at least be 1 to 2 ticks going over to the side of Omega Redemption. But Maverick gets 1 on the exit, but Flex and Ultra Rex are challenging the remaining members of Obfuscation. They are
they need
now
to.
just running for the hills and looking just to fight another day.
Yeah, that was a very good job. Obfuscation was a little slow in the rotations, and they didn't know what to do. They kind of just fumbled the spaghetti, as I like to say.
Yeah. In terms of ults, Omega Redemption already has 1 and there's a couple more coming online. Unfortunately for Obfuscation, they're only coming up to their support ults. So Window is the main one to be looking for on the side of Abu. The rush now is coming out on the side of Omega Redemption.
Oh!
Flex just blows up. Not much is happening there. The lamp does come out, saves Maverick and Fuglin, but Fuglin does go down to Dark Zephyr. Lunar's res does come through, and the OC is coming through. Maverick is trying to challenge the remaining members of Omega Redemption, and Storm Snipe is looking for 1, gets 1. Maverick as well gets 1. Flex unfortunately is unable to get back.
Alright. So there it is. Obfuscation knows where they have to get to. They know what they need to do. They need to go,
Yep.
they need to take point, and they need to have 1 fight win.
The
Now,
mark
this
has
is gonna
been
be-
set. The challenge has been made. It's up to Obfuscation to meet it.
It's going to be very interesting. So, Omega Redemption, they need to figure out one of 2 things. If they do start losing this first point, they need to make the decision fast to either give the point or everyone commit to the point. Any kind of staggers here is going to be devastating.
Yeah, it will be. But Omega Redemption pulling out something that we have not seen all game. The May Bastion Ryan comp. So they're just looking to bunker down and just control the front line for the most part. Wait a minute. Don't tell me that they're going to try to sneak all the way up. Nope, they're just going to hopefully just sit in hotel. Please do not push up any further than the hotel. But on the side of Obfuscation, though, looks to be more the Diva Dive or Diva comp of some sort.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be ready for this,
Oh.
though. Wait.
Wait a minute, they saw it by the looks of it. Respite and
Did
Storm
they?
onto the. I think they did. Yeah, I think Maverick did scout it out. They do at least see the May and the Reinhardt pick. Obfuscation looking a little unsettled as where to go. Maverick does just kind of use the orb, and Obfu just doing a rotate for the most part.
See,
45
here's the thing.
seconds on
They're
the
doing
clock.
this rotation, but they're just wasting time.
Yeah, 40 seconds left on here. They see Ultra Rex. We're just going to see what happens. Reaper is looking for an alternate angle. Respite, though, is kind of just being rushed down. He has no shield. Unfortunately, he's not able to be kept up. Fuglin gets 1, but is it going to be enough? The lamp comes out. Ultra Rex is looking for something. Does find Fuglin. Storm is still there. Same with Lunar. Storm's Wraith form has already been used. Maverick, though, does find Ultra Rex with help of Storm. And Dark Zephyr just beaming Storm down. Seeing what happens here. 3 members remaining on the side of on Omega Redemption. Same for Obfuscation. Flex, though, is just living for the most part. Lunar is there, does find Dark Zephyr, and it's the final remaining members for Obfuscation against the remaining members of Omega Redemption right now. They're just trying to get a foothold on the point. It seems like they did. Flex, I mean, SR and Lindy Hop do
don't
fall.
see
Flex and
9.
Ultra Rex on the side. Yes, name of the game, do not see 9, but I wonder if,
but
those,
they are not
if those
pushing.
members are going to be staggered. Wait a minute. Nope, they do get back in time. So this will be a final fight with all 5 members on the other
Obfuscation, they
team.
had to just push it. If they didn't
But-
all stay on cart, they could have won it immediately.
Beats on both sides. May ult coming up on the side of Omega Redemption. OC on the side of Obfuscation. This is going to be a final clash right here. Respite right now is going to be this is going to be very important to eat the alt, and is not able to eat it. So the beat did come out. So we're going to see if they can keep him up. Respite it's just being beamed down. SR and Storm Snipe with the ult is able to find 1-2, and
Two?
they might be able to get it. Uh, Earthshatter doesn't find anything. Respite is able
Oh!
to clean that up, and it's a fight going to obfuscation, and I believe it's also their map.
That is? That was woo.
That was a wild final fight.
I have no idea. Omega Redemption, that Blizzard coming out with Dark Zephyr was almost perfect.
Yeah. Oh my.
I didn't miss it. How did that shatter miss? Was it just
Um,
point blank and like just
Fug-
just
Fuglin
miss?
was up in the air, and Respite was away on the cart, out of the cone. So it just kind of didn't hit any of them because Fuglin was just in the air and Respite off to the side. So it's it was something to say the least. Um,
That's definitely something to say the least. But yeah, whew, what
so
up map 2?
so after map two, standings end at 1-1 for both teams. It's kind of even. That was your hybrid map of 4-3 in favor of obfuscation. Off of a series of wild fights for the most part. Um, honestly, that both of these maps could go to either or. Um, I think Omega Redemption though just kind of had obfuscation's number in the first map, and just kind of after they figured out how to beat the brawl of obfuscation, they just kind of beat it for the most part. But if obfuscation did try to switch it up a little bit, I think they could have had a better fight on map one, and it could have been a different story going up to this point. But as we stand, 1-1, favor of no team right now, and we're going to a escort now, right? If you-
Yes, we are going to
Okay,
an escort now.
all right. Which escort maps are in the pool right now, Ryan?
Well, I will say with Omega Redemption, the only bad thing, Rialto, as I said, is not in the map pool. Rialto
Unfortunate for them.
is their go-to map. So they have Havana or Route 66. Um, if I remember
I could see a Route
correctly,
66 from them.
so obfuscation, and if they've looked, and I think when they played it before, Route 66 has been their map pick. I don't think they
Hmm.
have lost a Route 66, and I don't think they have ever. I think they may have only had like a point taken on Route 66. So coming down to it, I haven't seen anyone play Havana yet. What? Why is someone messaging me? Ryan, what is wrong with you? Question mark?
None of us know. And
Oh, they're just complaining that this is best of seven. This is best of seven, or first to four. Anyway,
it's a first of four.
yeah,
Okay.
but yeah, Havana might be. I mean, especially with how SR was playing, and especially seeing Mev versus Dark, they're both very similar. Storm hasn't really come
Mhm.
on the snipers, but they are going to Route 66. Omega Redemption is going to challenge Obfuscation on their Route 66, but they have been very strong in the dive, so maybe this is a great pick for them.
Yeah. I'm just wondering if we're going to see the tank swap, because I know Obfuscation does usually like to run Minnow on Route 66, but they may keep Respiten just to challenge that dive, because it did seem like Respite had a good showing on the Diva and against their dive for the most part, and Diva's kind of a big counter to a Winston dive at times, so we'll just have to wait and see. So yeah. But I think as both teams right now are just settling in, just waiting for both teams to be ready. And until we get the final map swap, I forgot where my train of thought was going on this. I don't know. But
Train of
anyways,
thought, what is that?
Who knows? We might see a dive v dive. We might see the Winston v Winston dive. We might see a Diva versus Winston dive, or we might see a Sigma versus Winston dive. We don't know yet. It's all going to be up in the air for the most part. But by the looks of it, no swaps are coming out as of right now.
Oh, if I had to
And
predict, we're gonna see a
yes,
poke comp versus a poke comp with a Ash Torb on the
mhm,
side of obfuscation coming out against a dive comp from a Mega Redemption. And I wouldn't be surprised if they're gonna stick to that Sojourn, even with the poke comp,
mhm.
just because I think Dark has been doing a lot with the Sojourn on the side of Omega Redemption.
Yeah. Also, they do seem to have that pocket pharmacy, so
Yeah.
we could also possibly see that later down the line, or at least on the first point. Definitely not on the third point, though. A little bit too enclosed for that. But who knows? They might be psychopaths and they might want to try it.
Hey, if it works, it works.
Yep. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
But we'll see. We're
Mhm.
waiting on the teams to go. We're gonna give it a minute. We will be right back when the map starts up again. Okay, we are back with wow, back,
Back. Yeah.
back with map 3 coming in here. We have obfuscation winning last map, tying the series 1-1. Coming out here with, as I said, they're on this little poke comp with the Torb. And here we go. Coming out here is the dive with the Sojourn on the side of Mega Redemption.
Yeah. Not sticking with their normal pharmacy shenanigans for the most part. We'll just have to wait and see what happens with this. Storm, though, trying to pull some early pressure. Despite starting to get the fortifications up. And just kind of going to be taking it easy from either side right now. Early recall, though, is forced out of SR. Don't know what for. A little bit interesting things happen here. But it does seem like Omega Redemption is favoring starting from that bottom. Flex, though, is jumping across. Unfortunately, doesn't find much on that dive. Storm Maverick and Lunar just both able to kind of really get out of there without taking too much damage, despite challenging this card. Vlex though is coming back in for another round. Storm is trying to chase him. Maverick gets Ultra Rex at the end of that. SR is able to get rid of that pesky turret, and the recall was forced, but nothing much really is going to be happening during this fight.
Yeah, I was gonna say nothing much really happened there. I mean, Ultra Rex did go on early. Vlex, wait, Vlex went really low as well. But look at the cart; they got it around the first corner. They went really far. Respite wasn't paying as much attention as they should have to the cart, and Lindy was able to just move it.
Yeah. SR and Vlex right now are just looking to put something up. Ultra Rex, with the help of Dark Zephyr, is able to get rid of that turret. They will not have that turret for a bit. But Vlex was pushed down. Storm is popping that OC, trying to force something out. But Dark Zephyr was able to get Maverick. Lunar, though, brings Maverick back into this fight. Unfortunately, Maverick, I don't think, wants to be brought back in this current moment, but is able to get away safely. Despite, is kind of just challenging the point, but the turret does find Lindy Hop. Vlex is up there, is able to do some damage, but nothing really of substantial. But SR does find Lunarstorm, and Spike gets Zephyr. Ultra Rex right now just hiding in a little bit of a corner, but isn't able though to keep Flex up, and they both fall. SR they're trying to get rid of Fuglin, but is not able to.
Yeah, I was gonna say it. That was definitely a scrappy fight. Dark Zephyr got that first quick peck onto Mev with the help of Ultra Rex, but they weren't able to turn anything from that. Omega Redemption is definitely doing a good job getting the position that they need, but after that, their second engagement is a little bit sloppy, and especially I will say, you know, the sixth man on Obfuscation is doing a lot of work right now.
Yes.
Oh no, the sixth man!
The sixth man is kind of being a little bit of pesky. The moment the Pulse Bomb does come out, doesn't find anything. The Molten Core and Flux comes out. Doesn't really find much in terms of it, but Fulligan does get Vlex, and then Maverick cleans up Ultra Rex. And that's the end of that fight. With, I didn't see that, but Rush did also come out.
Yeah, the rush was a little wasted there, and so was Molten Core, so it's kind of a moot point
Even
on the side.
for one.
Yeah, it's even thing. We have Ultra X swap it over to the Ana.
Yeah, just trying to probably help out with additional pressure on that dive, force for Spike to think about something else as well. But on the side of Omega Redemption, they do have 3 ults coming in, compared to Obfuscation, which only has 2. But the window does come out. Storm Snipe is able to take care of Flex with help of the turret, and Dark Zephyr's OC was popped, but isn't really finding much in terms of kills on this. And that's the end of the fight for Omega Redemption.
Vlex melted. There was no chance of popping that primal right there.
A window with an overclocked door, very scary indeed, I must say. Flex though looking just to do something, probably pop the primal a little bit early just to see what happens, but no, the B comes in just to give him a little bit more sustain. Maverick does pop the OC, and it isn't finding much, but Respite does find Dark Zephyr in terms of kills. SR gets rid of the early lamp for the most part, and Flex is just kind of juggling. Storm Snipe isn't able to find much, but Respite on his own little island is able to find Lindy Hop and take care of most of the point. Maverick gets Flex, and then Ultra Rex and SR, the final 2 members onto the point. SR just kind of dancing around, just trying to keep the point a little bit longer, but can't, unfortunately, stay alive for Dark Zephyr.
Yep. And that was a strong first point coming out from Obfuscation.
Yeah, they were just able to basically counter whatever Vlex wanted to do by the looks of it. Vlex, unfortunately, wasn't
Playing
exactly a happy monkey.
No, playing monkey into that is so hard. You have to have your timing perfectly with your supports there. And honestly, as I said, Omega Redemption, they were starting the fights off very well. They were getting the pick, they were getting the position, and then after that, Obfuscation was able to sustain and kind of just turn the fights.
Yeah. It's kind of what happens when you have a Baptiste with 2 life-saving abilities, you know?
Oh yeah.
Gives you that basically 100 boost charge, and then the lamp, which keeps you alive indefinitely until it's killed for the most part. So, a lot of sustain on the side of Obfuscation. It does seem like they do want to run a SIG S comp on this with Storm on the Sombra and Maverick on the Widow, which is a little bit interesting. But on the side of Omega Redemption, they're just sticking with the same comp. Ultra X, though, is going to start on the Ana instead of the Kiriko. And we'll just have to see these theories at work. I'm very interesting to see if this Storm like Sombra pick is just a scout or if it's
This
a
is
full on pick. By the looks of it, though, it is just a full pick for them.
Yeah, this is a
Which,
very interesting comp. I don't think we've ever seen Obfuscation come out on this. Now, they might just be going for, quick picks and go from there, but
yeah,
I don't know.
Maverick, though, is going to be forced out by Flex a little bit. And Nate does come in on the side of Omega Redemption just to top off Flex. But in terms of really being threatening, neither side right now is threatening much. Lunar, though, is being forced out by Flex. Respite, though, is in the bubble, so he's in a little bit more danger than what he would like to be. But it's kind of whatever on this. It's kind of a mute point, as both sides not really taking much damage or enough to really keep themselves out of a fight. Just kind of trading it back and forth. Respite, though, is anti, so this might be the go mark. But Storm challenging Dark Zephyr does force out a couple abilities, but not much. And Flex right now, just kind of bouncing up and down, just being like, yo, I see you guys. I'm gonna try to stop you. SR is kind of forced out by Storm Snipe and is forced to retreat by the Ana. Flex, though, it does go up and takes out Storm, so the first member does fall from either of these teams. And Nate does come in, and not much really got hit by it. Lunar is able to bring Storm back into this fight, so Flex might just be looking for Storm, but Storm goes after Dark Zephyr and Lindy Hop, but unfortunately isn't able to find either of them. Respite does find Ultra X, but gets antied in return. And Maverick just kind of gets Dark Zephyr, and like, it was just a waiting game for Obfuscation. They were able to just take out a couple members. Now just a few things are happening. Beat, Window, and Flux all get popped. OC as well comes here, but a wonderful nade comes through, hits Respite, but I don't think it's going to be enough to exactly turn the fight. And a Pulse Bomb does come out, but not really anything too
Nothing
bad
too.
happened. Obfuscation during that, and it was just a clean fight win after they got their first couple picks.
It was. Omega Redemption, they did a good job. I mean, they wasted a minute and a half, almost 2 minutes, able to hold off Obfuscation. But it just came the one pick on the Ana, and it just went downhill from there.
Yeah, it was just kind of like a slow chokehold until Obfuscation found their mark and just ran away with it. But as we go in, it is now 2-1 Obfuscation, and it is Omega Redemption's map pick. And we're going into Flashpoint, if I'm correct.
We are going not push. Push.
Oh,
No
we're
flash.
going to push.
Yeah, no
Okay.
flashpoint.
No Flashpoint. Okay, okay.
Yep. That was a decision in the beginning. Flashpoint was new, and we said, nope, we're not going to put people in.
Alrighty. No worries then. We're going to push, and by the looks of it, Omega Redemption wants Esperanza, and there is a swap, though, of Tom going in for Ultra Rex. So maybe a battle of the minds right now. Maybe a different comp in terms of maybe words not there. Where.exe is not found. Anyways,
Yeah, I mean, Tom coming in there, Tom is a very strong player. He was a mid to late season ad on Omega Redemption, and Tom has been a very strong support player stepping in for them.
mhm.
So I'm not surprised with this. I think usually Ultra starts and then Tom swaps in later, but we can look for Sir Tom either coming out. I think the Kiri is usually their pick.
Okay. So, by the looks of it, Omega Redemption default pick for both Ultra Rex and Tom does seem to be the Kiri. Um, did like though Ultra Rex did want to go over to the Ana quite a bit, so we'll just have to see what's up with that at a later time. But in terms of obfuscation, it doesn't really look like any swaps are happening here, and it just looks like they're going to stick with their roster that they've been going with thus far. And this obfuscation roster, surprisingly enough, has been very flexible in terms of what they can play and what they will play into Omega Redemption with Respite.
Yep.
But Omega
Well said.
Redemption, though, kind of seems to be in their way of the Winston dive. They did pull out a little bit of the Diva and a little bit of the Stigma, I believe, earlier in this match. So I would like to see a little bit more of that coming out,
And
just
the
in case that
Reinhardt.
they do get stubbed. Oh yeah, that's right. They did play the Reinhardt at the very end of King's Row. But
So
anyways,
yeah, we'll see.
obfuscation 2 maps away from. I should say 1 map away from match point, 2 maps away from the win. Omega Redemption. It's a little bit to climb back from, but not much. There's only 1 map down. And in terms of comms, looks like Obfuscation is going for that Ram Brawl with a Genji. A little bit interesting of a choice. And there seems to be a Mauga pick. A Mauga Brawl. Never mind. The
Good. Don't have to
Winston
say
dive.
it.
Winston
Man,
dive with farm
you'd hate to
speed.
see me step in to say like, no. But yeah, as we
So,
said, here you go. There's the dive, the Pharah coming out, the tried and true, Sir Tom over on the Kiri.
yep. So we'll just have to see what Sir Tom brings. It might bring a little bit more calm. It might bring a little bit more stability. Who knows? But Respite right now, just trying to challenge their way. Just trying to drag, well, Lindy and Dark Zephyr back to the ground, but is not able to. And Respite, not really in danger of any sort, just kind of just forcing their way up to the enemy team, just kind of holding them at bay for the most part. Neither team has controlled this card, but Lex decides I might want to take that, and takes a little bit and is walking towards Obfuscation's backline. Not much is found, and Fulligan's lamp does come out, but gets destroyed right away by SR by the looks of it. Maverick is kind of just forced to use the slide, so no slide on terms of for Maverick, but Respite right now just trying to chase down Sir Tom, but Sir Tom is able to get away with minimal damage. And Vlex isn't really being forced out, but SR does find Fulligan at the very end of that. And it's just kind of a mishmash fight right now.
Yeah, going back and
Omega
forth,
Redemption,
and
I should say. Beat does come out on the side of... English. But
becomes on the
anyways,
side of Obfuscation. You have Stormsight going down. Lindy Hop trying to find the res, but there's not enough time. And here's just ults coming out from both teams.
yeah, and Annihilation also comes out on the side of Apu, and it doesn't find much. Just kind of a long fight that was in favor of Omega Redemption for the longest time, but the Mulligan does go down. Omega Redemption is now up once again, and this should be their map win. Yeah, then they do get the not the map win, but the fight win, and they're just kind of clean up the final members of
That
Obfuscation.
was almost a 2-minute fight. Just control first point.
Ha!
We got to
Yes.
see both. We got to see 3 support ults come out there.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, a 3
And-
and a pulse bomb. SR used the
True.
pulse bomb, got back up to another pulse bomb. Lunar almost up to the other. And we also saw a tank ult.
Yes, we did. But on the side of Obfuscation, they do swap over to the Reaper Diva in order to punish Flex a little bit more, but Dark Zephyr is kind of having their own way, but Respite finds too. SR does find Fulligan on the very exit of that, and Respite just kind of chasing out the Pharah. You'd love to see that. And Respite right now is just kind of causing mayhem in the back line. Lost Sir Tom for a bit, and Sir Tom is just kind of there, just trying to get out, but Maverick cleans it up. And there is still a member of Omega Redemption in the back line of Obfuscation, but it does seem that Respite's going to help
Oh my.
Fulligan out, but unfortunately SR is able to secure that and is kind of able to get away with that. Stormside, Maverick, and Lunar are the members remaining on point for Obfuscation, but they are seeing that they do not have a tank and another support, so they're just kind of running away. SR though might try to look
They are
to
just
put
leaving
Fulligan back into the
Fulligan,
spawner room. Fulligan forced to use the lamp a little bit early. Respite eats the pulse bomb, but it's just kind of free card push for the side of Omega Redemption. Just able to get more yardage, but Storm does get a SR. And the Diva just kind of eats all the Dark Zephyr. So, Barrage and the Winston ult does come out, but the beat in return. And Sir Tom just trying to keep Flex up, but unfortunately he's not able to do that in terms of the damage coming out from Obfuscation and fight win for Obfu. A little bit of a
I
mad
did what I did
come through.
before. I didn't swap the maps. Ah, the screen.
Oh no. So, anyways, you guys got a radio play-by-play call there. But anyways, Flex is now on to the Doomfish instead of the Winston. Dark Zephyr and the remaining team of Omega Redemption is sticking with that. Dark Zephyr though does find Lunar Storm at that. Flex is able to take off Storm Snipe. And Fulligan just kind of trying to run away, but cannot. Maverick and Fulligan both fall. And then Spite right now just trying to run away with their mech attack.
Yep, there's Vlex swapping over to the Doomfist. Which, honestly, it's not a bad. I mean, this is a different comp than what Omega Redemption has ran before, but it's making it work.
Yeah. Obfuscation just seems to be kind of stumped a little bit right now by SR and by Dark Zephyr. Mulligan is not having a very fun time in the back line. And Respite, though, is challenging, but unfortunately is able to much, just trying to... Lex is able just to force Respite out. Unfortunately gives Fulligan a little bit of Ultrax to use. And there's just fights happening in multiple places here. The point was taken over. The point was secured by Omega Redemption, and Storm just kind of on their own little island, trying to do something. Flex does challenge the high ground. Is almost able to get Lunar Storm out, but despite gets Lindy Hawk. So one of the Mercy's out. And Flex is going to be caught out after hitting Respite. SR is just trying to do some damage as they have been all game. The bomb does come out, mainly just for a remake, not much else is happening. And Dark Zephyr getting some extra ultras for Sir Tom. Sir Tom, though, still fighting. Should be able to get out free for the most part. And Fulligan is being challenged by Dark Zephyr and Lindy Hop. The Valk does come out, so they are looking for something. Maverick, though, does get caught out by Dark Zephyr, but Respite eats SR. This is Pulse Bomb and gets Dark Zephyr both in return. Lunar gets Maverick back, and Lindy Hop gets Dark Zephyr back. Maverick's OC comes out, gets Lindy Hop, and the window from Obfuscation also comes out. It is just madness happening everywhere on this point. Fights happening in the front, fights happening in the back lines. SR gets Storm, Respite gets Sir Tom in favor of Obfuscation right now, and SR's just kind of dancing around, does find Lunar as well. Gets the recall off and is still living. Trying to challenge Fulligan, but thinks better of it. Runs away. Vlexo is back to challenge the point with Lindy Hop. And Dark Zephyr's coming back in. So the cavalry of Mega Redemption has come through. SR gets 2 on the exit. Respite's right now just going to try to get away with the mech in tow, but may not be able to.
This is going to be a stall of the century on the
Yeah. Yeah, Respite unfortunately gets the mech running, looking for an edge to jump off. Luckily you can on this map, and Obfuscation just forced to run back to their spawn room. It is just madness everywhere on this map. So, Omega Redemption able to separate out Obfuscation, wear him thin, and then collapse once they have the advantage. And now they're just taking the card for a little bit more of a stroll, adding a little bit more. SR though does find Storm Side, probably will force Lunar's res out a little bit sooner. Respite going to be DMing that. Unfortunately, the punch comes through and Flex is able to stop that. Resurrect, I should say. The Kitsune Rush does come out, and right now Obfuscation just trying to run and keep their lives for a bit. Slide is forced out of Maverick, and Respite right now just trying to hold some sort of line right now, while Maverick sets up an angle. Right now, Omega Redemption just kind of has the way right now, and Flex almost finds Fulligan at the top ropes from that, but Storm gets Sir Tom, and Lindy Hop is just kind of trying to live. Flex as well, just blocking, trying to live, gets an empowered punches it, not finding anything. But Dark Zephyr finds Maverick, Storm finds Lindy, Lunar gets Maverick back to this fight. Respite has also found Dark Zephyr, and Fulligan just put in the extra damage, getting SR down. My
This is
goodness, these
so
fights.
scrappy.
It is scrappy and chaotic right now. Omega Redemption seems to like these odds for themselves
I
in
mean,
these
remember,
scrappy
it's a
fights.
time game for them. I mean, they have to just, as long as they lose and then they get,
Oh no. Oh
oh,
no. Maverick and Lunar both go down to the barrage. Storm Snipe is able to get Dark Zephyr in that, but Lindy Hop gets a free res off. Not much they can do about it, but Fulligan does get taken out. Spite just trying to score Storm Snipe out, and they're both able to get out, but they on the side of Omega Redemption, they only have 30 seconds left to defend this, and they are probably going to be able to get forward spawn.
oh yeah, they'll 100% have forward spawn. If they, even if they lose this fight, they get forward spawn.
Yeah. Storm right now just trying to challenge with their attack visor. Isn't really finding much on him, but is able to force feed members to run away. SR is just challenging Maverick, looking for an ending here. Storm was punched away from the bot, and the window does come out. Both teams not really finding much, but Obfuscation has much farther to push. Dark Zephyr and Flex kind of sitting right there, but Respite finds Dark Zephyr, but a Resurrect should be able to come in through Lindy Hop. Lindy Hop might fall for that, but no, he's able to get away. Sir Tom is able to get that Suzu out, and the rush does come through right now. Respite tried to challenge Dark Zephyr, but it wasn't able to find it, and now it's both members have to stay on there, but Lunar felt the taste of blood, got Dark Zephyr. The bomb does come out and finds nothing, but the Meteor Strike does come in. SR finds Maverick on the side of Omega Redemption, and the Pulse does get there. Gets Respite out of mech, and this is just madness happening at the point right now. Storm Snipe finds Lindy Hop, Lex gets full again, but in terms of members, it seems like Omega Redemption is able to slowly get this through. Dark Zephyr gets a Lunar, SR finds Storm Snipe, Respite isn't able to get back in mech, and that's Omega Redemption's map.
That's it. Omega Redemption brought it back 2-2. They made swaps. Obfuscation, they kind of just, they made some swaps, but it wasn't working, and they stuck to it.
That is for sure.
I mean, I'll have to give it to Omega Redemption. I mean, SR, probably what, 8 pulse bombs in one? They were getting a pulse bomb almost every single minute.
Yeah, it seems like every fight that's like a danger for that, and plus, at the beginning of this map, just able to keep Fulligan away from the team and just keep them at bay in the spawn room. So
I'll be
it's
honest,
unfortunate, but Obfuscation, unfortunately, just kind of
Fulligan on the BAP, I don't think was getting the value that Obfuscation needed. I think that had to be
no.
swapped very quick, either over to Kiriko, just like Omega Redemption was doing,
Yeah,
or even onto something like I don't know. I mean, Moira sounds disgusting, but like even Ana, just you have that little bit of abilities with your nade and your sleep that can try to keep you alive.
yeah. Omega Redemption just kind of found that weak point in the comp, and as you saw, they just kind of acted on it and just kind of ran away with it at a certain point. Obfuscation though did have a couple times where they did look like they could bring it back, but SR just kind of forcing their way into the back line and forcing members to stay away from the point for the most part just to help Fulligan get out. But at the end of 4 maps, it is 2-2. It is Obfuscation's map pick. I think going. Where are we going, Ryan?
We're going back to control.
Okay, so we just reset this map type. Okay.
Yep, we go right back. Well, we don't fully reset. The next 3 maps, at least the next 2
Mhm.
maps, I should say, are Control, Hybrid, and the Control again.
Control, hybrid, control. So, we know that both teams will know their mark for this control point. It's the first of 2. Hybrid is where it's going to get interesting. We might see another King's Row happen to where I'm just gonna say this: the past 3 maps have just been utter chaos. Like the Kings Row, chaos. Whatever was the map before Esperanza, chaos. Esperanza, just chaos.
I would say the
It
only
just
one that
seems,
was not chaos was Route 66. Feels like.
yeah, Route 66 and Antarctic were like the only two like stable points to where one team just like knew how to route the other one, and we're just like, hey, I'm sorry, you can't beat us on this. Too bad. Deal with it. But all the other ones are just like, I don't know. Throw something out the wall. If it sticks, it sticks, and whatever happens, happens. You're just like, okay, I'm just here for the ride. That was something. But in terms of map picks and everything, what is left on the control point
We
map
have
pool?
Ilios and Nepal. So honestly, both of those control maps, I believe, will favor Mega Redemption very well.
Leos and Nepal, yeah, both unfortunately. And
Ili-
Nepal's going to be a little bit harder for Mega Redemption, but they still have Village and I believe Shrine that they can run the pharmacy, so that's going to be a little bit easier. But if I was Obfuscation, I would try to stay away from Ilios as much as you can because you just have the wide open sight lines for that pharmacy comp. You probably do not want to deal with.
Sorry, my wife just texted me.
Yeah, no worries.
The love of that. Yeah, so we'll see. I need red spec.
We do not have that, Ryan.
No, that is not me. So with that, both teams are taking a bio break. So we are at the halfway point. We are gonna go to a quick break, and we'll be back when we figure out which control, either Ilios or Paul, is picked from obfuscation. All right, we are back. We're coming
A
into
little
map
bit of a break.
5, Obfuscation's pick, and they're picking Nepal.
Yeah, so as we thought before our break happened, we thought we would see Nepal just to at least stem the bleeding a little bit from Omega Redemption's Faracomp, but unfortunately, this map is not the one you want to. Actually, out of three of them, this is probably the second one that you want the most out of all of them. But Omega Redemption, though, looking to want to come out on the Reinhardt. Same with Obfuscation. One has a Sim May, the other one has Sim Bastion. So we're going to see the battle of the Sims and the Mays and the Bastions for the most part. And then everything else pretty much similar.
It is. It'll be a lot of these who's going to control the map point first, and if it is on the side of Mega Redemption, dealing with that Bastion.
Yeah, Omega Redemption just making a beeline for the point right now. Obfuscation just expecting a fight to happen up top, but unfortunately doesn't get one. So, unfortunately for them, Omega Redemption should get majority of the point control first. And as you can see, just kind of Sir Tom just putting down the damage. Right now, just trading blows back and forth right now. Both Sims looking for some damage to happen for just to charge their thing, but form comes out of Bastion, and both level 3 beams come out. Storm Sight, though, does get Flex before the lamp does come down, and the main does get wall up, so it does stem a little bit of that bleeding, but Fulligan gets trapped on the other side and does get taken down. Level 3 beam going into Spite, not very fond of that, but Storm Sight gets their Zephyr, and Maverick gets Lindy. Which is kind of a stall for the rest of the members on the team. The May just kind of there for the most part. Spike trying to charge out, trying to get that May, but doesn't get it because Lunar took it from him. But now just kind of a force the other members of Omega Redemption out. And right now, fight goes back and forth. Omega Redemption has 24%. A window does come off on the side of Omega Redemption. Just forces Obfuscation back to their own point. But ults on either side coming up pretty quick. Respite though first to that Shatter, so we're gonna see a battle of the Shatter coming in. And unfortunately, Respite isn't able to get much. SR does take out Storm Snipe, so May down for one, the beat, and the window comes out on the side of Obfuscation. Unfortunately, Sir Respite is on the other side of the wall, but does get Lindy Hop, but Tom takes him out. Flex takes out Maverick, and that should be the end of the fight. Ending in terms of Omega Redemption.
That was a really sloppy engage on the side of Obfuscation. I mean, they had no focus, they split up, and they just kind of let Omega Redemption do whatever they wanted to them.
Yeah.
I would say they had their ults, and they're gonna have a hard time coming back, especially with this, the Reinhardt ult coming out as well as the Blizzard.
Yeah, but Bastion all on the side of Obfuscation, seeing what happens with this. Stormsight decides to go over to the Junkrat rather than stay on the Sim for a little bit extra mobility, but it's a little bit interesting. Bastion all comes down on top of the Sim TP, not much else with that. And Bastion form does come out, and the Blizzard also comes through, freezes 3, and the lamp does come through, but isn't able to really do much. Stormsight does get caught with that Shatter, and it's just a cleanup for Omega Redemption, 84% and counting. So final fight territory on the side of Obfuscation. They might not even be able to touch point. It looks like Lunar is trying to touch, but just maybe too far away. 3% left, and no, it does not seem to be the case. And Omega Redemption takes point 1.
Nope, and that came down to Omega Redemption just had way more coordination than Obfuscation on that point. I mean, they're, as I said before, I mean, they're a brawl team. They know how to rotate, especially being with the dive. Their rotations together are always very clean, and Obfuscation just doesn't have that. They were going in at different times, different targets, and they just look very sloppy. But here we are, going over to Shrine, and we're coming back. Mega Redemption's going on their tried and true comp with Sir Tom in. They're still in the Kiriko over the Ana. And Obfuscation's coming out on their full dive comp right now, it looks like. They have the Monkey in, they have the Moira. Like, they're going all in on this dive. But they don't have a dive target to go on.
Yeah. They look to take your advice though and stick
Oh, I
Fulligan
lied.
onto the Moira instead of keeping him on the map. So we'll see if that has some impact here. But pharmacies on both. Nope. Yeah, pharmacies on both sides, and the only difference really is the Kiri versus the Moira pick. So we'll see, have to see what happens with this. Stormstype though does find the first pick onto SR. Flex though is getting a little bit better of respite, but speaking of respite, he takes out Lindy Hop in return of that. And my redemption thinks better of sticking in here and just kind of runs away. Not really much to do on that point, other than just kind of battle it out. Storm got the first pick, and they didn't really have any other pressure to really to put onto obfuscation, force anything else out.
Yeah, obfuscation just saying, hey, we'll run the Pharaoh too. Let's see if you can stop it.
Hmm. And as we're going in this fight, Lex right now is posturing towards Elephant, just looking for something to jump on. But Dark Zephyr does find Fulligan, so that might be their go point. Here, Valexic is kind of running into the back of Respite. Respite seems kind of surprised by it. It's forced to drop Bubble a little bit early. Lunar, though, it's going to be tickled a little bit. Not much really going to happen. A Storm Sight, though, does fall because of that res, but both supports up on the side of Obfuscation, but Fulligan once again goes down. Lunar just kind of able just to live because Mercy does Mercy things, but Flex finally finds the end of Lunar. Respite gets Lindy Hop in return, so both Mercies down. Sir Tom, though, finally gets Respite, and only one remaining, really. Four was Maverick and Storm, but SR decides, says not today, and cleans him up.
And there you go. Fulligan said, you know what, Moira, maybe not the best pick. Swapping over the Kiriko to match up with Sir Tom, and we have ults coming up on both sides right now.
Uh, Dark Zephyr probably going to look to proc their ult a little bit, just try to interrupt that rotate from either from obfuscation. But Respite seems to have snuck it through, but the bubble does come through. Just trying to chase Lindy Hop out, but Fulligan just kind of forced out, TP forced by it, and SR does not let up, just trying to chase Fulligan down. But the rush on the side of Omega Redemption comes through. Not much really being used for it. Respite is forced to use the Primal Rage and just trying to keep the members of Omega Redemption off the point. Just trying to bounce them all around. The Pulse does come through. Almost hits Maverick with that. Dark Zephyr comes out with the Barrage. Finds their opposite in Storm Sight. The Pulse Bomb from Obfuscation does force the Primal out from Vlex, but Dark Zephyr and Sir Tom just able to take care of Obfuscation.
Yeah, obfuscation keeps coming in. They keep having these really long fights, and they're not winning it. They're not getting the picks that they need. They're not doing what they need to, and Mega Redemption is just winning off of that.
Yeah,
Even if they don't win the fight, they still win it.
yeah. It just might be the case of going a little bit too fast, but swaps on the side of obfuscation. The Winston going over to the Diva and Farah going over to the Echo. So just a little bit more dueling pressure in terms of going against Farah. But Dark Zephyr though does get a nice hit on the Storm side. But Respite just kind of sitting on point, trying to force something out. Trying to force Sir Tom, forces the Kiri Suzu out, but not much else. And the point right now is 99% to 58. So unfortunately, Obfuscation must win this fight, otherwise they give up this point, and it does move to match point for Omega Redemption. Right now, the rush does come through. Respite does get flex. Now the res is coming through. Respite is able to stop that. Dark Zephyr though looking for pressure onto the team. SR as well, just looking to do some damage. Nothing is really falling. It's health bars going up and down. Dark Zephyr finds Storm, but Respite finds SR in return. They need to give. If Obfuscation does want to win, they do need to get rid of these supports, and they finally force, or at least attempted to force Omega Redemption off. The Fulligan did get Dark Zephyr, and that's the end of that fight. 62% and counting in terms of obfuscation, but ults galore on both sides. So this is just going to come down to who has more Qs, who can press them, and who can be more effective with this.
Yeah, we're
In
gonna see
turn,
if Omega Redemption can get this DM out of Respite. Dark Zephyr's had some really big barrages, but if they don't get that DM out, Respite's be eating everything.
Yeah, the rush comes through on the side of Omega Redemption, just kind of forces obfuscation in and then back out. Right now, Dark Zephyr does find Maverick, so one member down on the side of obfuscation. And then SR finds Fulligan. Lunar does get Maverick back, but the barrage from Dark Zephyr gets stormed. The Pulse does find someone, does force some alts health bars to go down, but it's all back for now. SR gets Lunar. SR Tom gets Maverick. Respite is the last member of obfuscation, but Respite's bomb isn't really going to find anything. And the point is going to be flipped back over to Omega Redemption, and last remaining member, Swarmsight, unfortunately gets to the Mercy copy. That won't be doing much on terms of holding the point, but that copy is out. Fulligan is down. Same with Stormsight, and the map goes over to Omega Redemption and match point.
Yeah, that just came over to Omega Redemption. They play that way better than Obfuscation on that point. I mean,
Mhm.
Dark Zephyr couldn't be. I mean, on the first map, uh, they had a lot better rotations, especially on the Brawl comp. The target focus, everything about it, they were just controlled. On that map, between SR and SR and Dark Zephyr, they're able just to focus, turn the team a lot, and Sir Tom as well. They were able to turn obfuscation, direct different sight lines, and they were able just to get picks when needed. There's nothing really
Yeah.
obfuscation do against that, and they just just wasn't their map.
Mhm. Yeah, it seems like Obfuscation has a hard time really just pinning down that Pharah. Like they tried multiple attempts to get rid of that Pharah all throughout these maps, and that Pharah just has been like the major issue for them. They've tried the Diva, which has worked sometimes, but not really all that much. They tried the Cassidy before as well. Same story. They also used Echo here. Not really much in terms of the duel went the way of um Storm Snipe, unfortunately, as well as the Soldier. So they've tried multiple picks to try to get rid of that Pharah. Not much though has been in terms of getting rid of it. So it's now up to this final map for Obfuscation to try to force it to a map 7, try to force it to the final map.
And I
So,
guess
and it does. Mhm.
only map we can pick is Nirvana. Yes, that is correct. They can only pick Havana.
Yep, because Rialto is out of the map pool.
That is correct.
Hybrid Rebellion. No. We have the ultimate say here. No, I should say Ryan does. I do not. I'm just a lowly caster on this pool. So, anyways, other than that, looks like Obfuscation wants to. Well, any way they go, though, they're kind of forced to run a poke comp here. Or they might try a brawl comp at the doors. Or Mega Redemption. They might be able to get away with their pharmacy. They may not. We'll have to see with that. It does seem to be what they want to run and what they're comfortable with. So we'll see if that has any agency in this map. And it doesn't look like really any swaps coming out from
No,
either side. So yeah.
I think they're just gonna keep it together. And I mean, yeah, Obfuscation. They like to play the poke. They've been proving they can do the poke. Maybe they'll come out with a similar defense like they did on Route 66 with the Torb, but who knows? This has great sight lines, and maybe SR and Dark Zephyr are going to be the better snipers.
Mhm.
It's going to be interesting to see. I don't know if anyone's played Havana. This
Yeah,
might be the first Havana pick.
I think out of all the games I've been here for, I do not think I've seen the Havana. I think the main one that I've seen has been Rialto, and then I would go Kings, but no, not Kings. I don't know what I'm saying at this point now.
Rialto or Route 66.
Yeah, there we go. I think I've seen Route 66 the most, then Rialto. I don't think any team has really forced their hand on Havana. So, anyways, we'll see
Yeah,
if any of these teams have any prep on this map.
and
Because
I'll
by the
say
looks of
that,
it,
yeah, I mean, this was said before in the beginning of it, but I'll say it again. If people didn't know, Rialto is part of our map pool, but Rialto was removed by Blizzard in Overwatch altogether for a bug. So, all we have right now is Havana and Route 66 are the only two escort maps currently in our pool. So, lo and behold, here is Havana.
Yep.
All right, well, we're just waiting for both teams to give their readies. Still doesn't look like there's any swaps coming out, but we will see what'll happen. And we will be back hopefully really soon.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty.
So we are back coming into map 6. Omega Redemption changing the results of the round robin maps, and they won map 5 this time, giving them the 3-2 upper hand against Obfuscation. This is Obfuscation's map to lose and Omega's Redemption's map to win.
Yep. We are on match point right now, and it's up to Obfuscation in order to correct this change. And they're basically both teams' own destiny at this point. A win for either side moves them on for the most part. But for Obfuscation, a win here just means another map to fight for their destiny. But on the side of both these teams, it seems like the Torb, Sojourn, Sig comp with a BAP, and then on the side of Omega Redemption, we have the Sig Hanzo Sojourn with Zen. So I'm expecting more pressure to come out from the side of Omega Redemption as we start this. And Storm right now just gonna be putting down a little bit of pressure. Respite as well, just gonna be trying to hold the angle, hold the corner for as long as they can until they're just forced out of it. But the Zen though, kind of a very dangerous pick here for Respite. And just has to be very careful of it. And as we see, the unfortunate Lindy Hop though does get Swarm Snipe out at the very start of this. Lunar does go for the res. The shield and the lamp both have to come out in order to care for that Mercy's res. Lindy Hop looking for more. Taste the blood in the water. Maverick gets the high ground. Swarm Snipe finds SR. Maverick forced to slide out. Respite right now challenging. Unfortunately gets rocked, but the Orb of Destruction does fall off of him. So, but Dark Zephyr and Sir Tom have the high ground. Storm did try to challenge it, was forced to OC and get out of there. And Respite right now just trying to force the sports to stay in that room. I should say SR and Lindy Hop in there. Vlexo kind of challenging, a little bit dangerous for them. Not really much is happening though. And this shield for Respite has fallen. And the hands come out. The window as well comes out for the side of Omega Redemption. Right now, Obfuscation just sticking away from it, waiting it out. But Storm and Maverick though do get two, and Vlex just trying to change it, but unfortunately he's one of the final members there. And right now, Zen does get taken out by Vulcan, and then Respite finds SR. The last remaining member is Flex, but Sir Tom and Dark Zephyr, the cavalry has arrived for Flex and keeps him up. 66.56 meters on the
I would say
side
that's
of.
2 minutes just for one fight to finish right there. And
Yeah.
I mean, you had the Valk come out on the side of obfuscation, but you had the window come out from the third time. I would right now feel pretty comfortable on the side of obfuscation.
Yeah, the Flux does come out, catches 3, Transcendence comes down. In return for that, the Molten Core comes out. Most of it gets eaten by Vlex, so not really that dangerous for the side of Mega Redemption, but the OC on Obfuscation gets popped. Maverick looking for someone, unfortunately doesn't find much, and now they're just kind of flipping the map. Mega Redemption taking the high ground, trying to secure it and force an angle, force Obfuscation into weird way. The window does come out. It does force Flex to take a more defensive angle, and the lamp as well comes out. Hands on both sides. Unfortunately, the rock doesn't hit for Respite, but Dark Zephyr gets Maverick. The Flux does come out. No rock there to save him. Mulligan and Respite do land in the lamp, but the OC does come out. But Flex finishes off Mulligan. Dark Zephyr takes out Stormsight. A minute remaining, but unfortunately, I don't think Obfuscation will be able to hold it. Flex does get his opposite, and they're just chasing down the final remaining members of Obfu. And with 45 seconds remaining, it looks like they will get the cart to the second point. And now, Obfuscation is now forced to hold the second point. The Zen just kind of doing a lot there with the Orb of Destruction, just forcing weird angles. And the rotation coming out from Omega Redemption, forcing weird angles. And the hands are forced from the side of Obfu. And Wax unfortunately falls off and is forced just to walk around and just hold their own way. Maverick is taking the high, just looking for something of anything at this point. Storm trying to take a little bit of an off angle. And now it's just the window comes out on the side of Omega Redemption, and so same with the Dragon. Unfortunately, Respite just kind of being pressured out. Fulligan gets caught, and SR is able to finish Respite from most of that damage on the thing. Omega Redemption is just kind of removing Obfuscation from the point, getting what they want out of it. Lindy Hop gets Maverick, Dark Zephyr finishes off the resurrected Respite, and then Lunar falls to Dark Zephyr as well.
Yeah, Lunar's trying to get into these very tricky reses, and like, yes, they're very good at getting who they're up, but they're leaving a lot of people to live. We do see Lunar swapping over, both Lunar and Storm swapping over, so now the team is fully matched up.
Yeah, Storm is just gonna help break that shield of Vlex plus Lunar. It's just gonna. I meant Storm with a Hanzo is gonna be able to break that shield a little bit more effectively, and Zen, as you saw before, is just going to be able to put more pressure on Flex, just force them to play a little bit more defensive compared to the Mercy. And right now, just kind of long sideline game right here. Both sides just playing it out until one gets a tick. But the Flux does come out from the side of Respite. It gets 2 in there, but the Transcendence comes through just to save them, and the OC, they come on from Maverick, found nothing but Dark Zephyr in return, says goodbye to Maverick. Stormsight does find Dark Zephyr, so the trades are coming through. SR is in the backline though of Obfuscation, and the Flux catches 3. Unfortunately, there's no Transcendence to keep Respite or Fulligan up, and then Sir Tom takes it in his own hands, gets 2, and SR cleans up Stormsight. This card has not really been stopped. 2 minutes remaining on this push, and they are going to get it underneath the bridge, so it's looking a little bit dicey for Obfuscation. They may not even be able to touch it at this point. They might be able to force one member on, but that's it. Yeah, Respite is able to get there. Lindy is kind of stuck there. Respite gets Dark Zephyr, so majority of damage is out. Lex also falls. SR though does find Lunar, and both the lamps from either of these teams are out. The window doing a lot. Sir Tom gets Respite. And then the Dragons come through, forcing Storm and Fulligan into this weird area. Maverick is able to hold the point for at least a little bit and gets 2. Clean up the fight and hold it. This side of Obfuscation.
I was really worried that they're about to get the C9 right there, especially with the Dragon.
Yeah.
We're
Maverick,
coming
though,
down to it. I mean, we're down to 1 to 2 fight territory right now. They have to just keep defending.
Yeah. Sir Tom, Storm's does get Sir Tom, which is very good for Obfuscation. At this point, drains more of that clock out. Is able to give Obfuscation at least a little bit time to breathe, a little bit more time to formulate a plan. In a minute remaining. Ult's pretty even for both of these teams. For the most part. And the overclock does come out from the side of Omega Redemption. Dark Zephyr does find one. Does get Storm Sight, but the hands are forced out from Respite. Same with the lamp. We're now just going to be waiting and seeing what happens next. Maverick does have the rail shot and may be able to find one, but unfortunately not much is happening. Dark Zephyr does challenge Maverick, gets him down. And Luna right now just trying to live, but Storm comes out, gets Dark Zephyr. Respite is able to anchor the point for a little bit longer. The Dragons do come through on the side of Obfuscation. Does force the Transcendence out from the side of Omega Redemption, but SR and Flex takes down two. Respite is able to get their Flux off, and the window comes out. Maverick gets Lindy Hop, Flex gets Fulligan. The rock does happen, but Sir Tom unfortunately is able to take up Respite. The Transcendence just a little bit late. The members are just there for Obfuscation, but I don't think much more is going to be able to happen. Overtime was procced, but I don't think any members will be able to touch. And three. Oh no, Respite is able to get in. Fulligan does come in on the Kiriko. The overclock does come through. Respite tries to take care of Dark Zephyr. Dark Zephyr just keeps living. The overclock finds one. Stormside fighting Dark Zephyr. SR though finds Maverick in return. Respite challenging Flex, just trying to live. Empowered pun blocks, I should say, but the Suzu comes through, is able to keep him up. Fulligan challenging SR, but gets doinked and taken out. Flex is taken out as well, but Lindy Hop is still there. Same with SR, and trying to remove Lindy Hop is Respite, but not really much is happening in terms of that. Luna is finally able to remove it, and SR isn't able to touch. Sir Tom was a little bit late on the fade. Very good push coming from Omega Redemption.
Especially at that first point, it looked like they were a little lost. I mean, there's a lot of time wasted. They barely be able to cap it until that last fight. But yeah, I mean, Obfuscation, they know where they have to get. They have to go to cap this thing. They get the full cap, they get the map win. That's all there is to it.
Yep. It's going to be a very difficult though, because Havana is notorious for being difficult on first point and then going into third point. Second point is kind of, if you're snowballing on first, you kind of get it kind of for free. Not really all the time, but statistically you are better off on second point if you're the attacking team compared to first or second.
You count on me.
So
I count on you.
that's at least something.
This is the hardest third map point. I mean, this is the Volskaya of escort maps. Let's just say
12 round Volskaya. I have had that before. That was fun. I will say that was not fun, but it was fun. But anyways, Obfuscation knows their mark. 102.47 meters between them and a map 7 in order to decide this match. But they have to get through points 1 and 2 first before they can even think about that 102.47. Both teams running out on pretty much the same comp. Lunar, though, favoring the Mercy over the Zen. As we saw, the Mercy provides value, but the Zen, in my opinion, provides a little bit more. Respite's shield already is down. And now it's just kind of the dueling of the Sigs on this corner. Fulligan, it's just going to bounce around for a little bit. Dark Zephyr, though, just trying to put some pressure down. The rocks do come through, and the early lamp is forced by Respite. Sir Tom's lamp is already gone. Obfuscation doing a pretty good job of kiting Omega Redemption into the stairwell and into weird angles. Maverick does get SRs, so that's one member down. So the Zen for Omega Redemption may try something a little bit funny, where it's just kind of stuck right there for right now. The card is continuously to move right now, and Omega Redemption is going to probably come back with 4 with the Zen on an off angle.
They don't know about it, do they?
No, they do not. That was not scouted out. Storm Snipe is just got discorded. A little bit confused on where that's coming from. Maverick right now is just challenging SR. SR just kind of lives through it. Flex is just being carried by Sir Tom. But the trade comes from Storm Sipe and Lindy Hop. And then Respite and Maverick, though, on the side of Obfuscation, just kind of bullying Lex a little bit, and Sir Tom can't really do much, but SR gets Maverick. The res, though, does come through onto Storm Snipe, and Storm Snipe finds SR. The Flux, just for good measure, just to get rid of Dark Zephyr and secure the point. 4 minutes on the clock for Obfuscation as they go into second point, so much better first point compared to Omega Redemption, but second point is where it's now at for Obfuscation.
Yep, and you see SR swapping from the Hanzo, going over the Ash, trying to get, I guess, a little bit more burn, a little bit more sustain than the Hanzo.
Maverick right now just... Go ahead. The window does come out on the side of both teams for right now. Stormside does find Sir Tom, so advantage Obfuscation. We shall see what happens. The Flux does come out. Unfortunately, not much is really to be found. Stormside does fall, but Fulligan is able to keep himself off, but Maverick is able to take care of Lindy Hop despite his share of Dark Zephyr, and now they're just trying to chase Flex out. The last remaining member on this point is SR, but SR might be able to get away. Never mind, Respite says not today. Takes care of SR, and the car continues to move with 3:45 left on the clock.
Omega Redemption has a chance to recontest, but I don't know if they want to take it. Oh, they swapped to the Doom. Nope, they are 100% going in.
Yeah, they will challenge this. Unfortunately, the card has not been moving for the few seconds. The Dragon does come through from Storm Snipe, kind of splits the team. Not really much happening in terms for either of these teams. Dark Zephyr is forced to slide. Respite finds Sir Tom. Maverick finds Dark Zephyr. The opposite for them, and the rock comes through onto Flex. The Transcendence is forced. SR just kind of focusing the point pressure right now, and the Flex does come out. Unfortunately, finds nothing. Lunar just kind of holding onto the point, unable to live with the overclock from Maverick. Finds 3, and the collapse comes through on Galindy and SR. And 4:27 remaining. Obfuscation is looking to send this into a map 7, but we will have to see.
I'll say, I know right there, Mev was just saying, I'm cooking. Now, let's just see. So we're coming up. Dark Zephyr still has the ult on the side of Omega Redemption.
Yep.
And, let's just see. Big wide open area. This could be a huge overclock.
Yes, SR, Lindy, and Sir Tom, though, all swap. SR going to the Tracer, Lindy going to the Lucio, and then Sir Tom going over to the Ana. So looking more of a dive-esque thing, but the Empowered Punch is given over to Flex. Right now, Dark Zephyr just looking for some damage, but Stormside finds Lindy, but Flex finds Stormside in return. The OC Overclock comes through, Dark Zephyr finds Lunar. Now, Overclock not finding much, but SR is able to get rid of Maverick. Respite and Flex still living, but SR also takes care of Mulligan. Respite does get SR on the exit, and Respite's just trying to...
That's
yeah,
a good
just staggers
stagger out
himself,
of Mega
unfortunately.
Redemption. I mean, I will trade a Tracer for a Sigma any day on defense.
Yes, 3 minutes on the clock. About 50 meters left to go for the side of Obfuscation. We'll have to see what happens here. They are still trying to stick with this Sig comp. Hopefully they don't get picked out too fast. Flex, though, does have the Meteor Strike, and oh my goodness, Stormsnipe, though, with another headshot onto Lindy. Yeah, they do know where the Doomfist is. They do get nanoed, and the anti does come in. Maverick is probably just gonna get taken out. And that does happen. Stormsnipe is being chased down by Flex, and the Tracer of SR is just kind of just doing things. The recall is forced. Respite, though, is just kind of getting free push on this. 83 meters remaining. And the Meteor Strike comes in, doesn't find anything, but Respite does go down to the Empowered Punch. The Empowered Punch once again goes on to Flex. SR is just dealing with the backline single-handedly. Nothing much else is really happening. 40 meters left for the side of Obfuscation. 2 minutes remaining, so a lot of time has been burnt, but a good chunk of the distance has been covered.
I would love to see Stormsnipe not hold this ult to Overwatch 3.
That would be nice to see, but we'll have to see what happens. Respite once again just anchoring this point, just trying to hold the side of Omega Redemption at bay, but does get anti, so Lamp is forced. SR, though, is just kind of having their own way. The Flux does come through onto Sir Tom. The sleep and the punch do not go through. The dragon does come through. Flex might just be taken out. Never mind. The empowered punch is able to save him. SR is just kind of doing his own thing in the back line, able to hold it. Dark Zephyr's slide was forced for respite now. Just kind of holding on the point as much as they can. Hands is cancelled. Fulligan just trying to deal with SR, but cannot. Maverick, though, does go off the point, whether it was from a punch or not, I'm unsure right now. But SR takes care of Lunar and is now challenging Fulligan. The recall is forced, and Respite slept and falls. Stormstorm now goes down, and the last remaining member is Fulligan and also goes down. Minute 6:15 left, and 40-some meters still remaining. These archway of Havana is Obfuscation's Achilles heel right now. They need to find a way in. They need to stop Flex and SR from getting their backline if they want to have a chance. Respite goes on to a Doomfist of their own. A minute remaining. Respite right now challenging up top, but Flex not really goes back to try to help the backline. Unfortunately, the backline doesn't really need his help as of the moment. Respite, though, going in right now. Punches. Flex just forces something out, but the Nano comes through. Fulligan just being dealt with by SR. SR is able to get rid of Lunar, and the OC comes out from the side of Omega Redemption. Doesn't find anything, unfortunately, and Maverick just goes for the reset. Same with Respite. 30 seconds remaining. This could be Omega's Redemption trip to the finals right here if they can just hold on with SR's Pulse Bomb, Flex's Meteor Strike. But on the side of Obfuscation, they have the Overclock. They just swapped to the Kiriko, so they're gonna have to build up these ults. So right now, ults are in favor of Omega Redemption. We'll just have to see what happens. Dark Zephyr's just putting the disc damage in. Respite is forced to use the punch early. Then Nade comes in, doesn't find much. Flex is forced back into the team. The Meteor Strike is coming out. We'll see who it falls on to right now. It's going on to Fulligan. Fulligan gets taken out. SR takes out Lunar Storm. 3 members remaining on the side of Omega Redemption. Maverick gets Sir Tom. He gets Dark Zephyr. There's a few members left. SR gets Respite. Maverick goes down, and the only remaining member is Respite on Storm Step, I should say, and SR, and I should say Lindy Hop takes out the other 2, and that's the end of the run for Obfuscation.
It is.
And Omega Redemption's trip into the finals.
It was. I mean, Omega Redemption, that 3rd-point defense, swapping over the Doomfist. I mean, Obfuscation had their number on the 1st and 2nd point. They just walked into them. They did what they had to do. But on the 3rd, the Doomfist pick, or Doom Tracer pick, they just had no answer to that. And honestly, it was looking okay, and then it just all fell apart. There was a massive win from Omega Redemption. They were able to take out. They were able to come back and have the comeback victory, especially against Obfuscation that they lost to in the normal season.
Yeah. And as I have to say, one of the favorites, as I was hearing from everyone in this league, said Obfuscation was one of the ones to make it to the finals. That Titan has now fallen. Omega Redemption has gotten their entrance into the finals. They took out a Titan and is now making themselves a name.
Yeah, both Obfuscation as well as ITHF, they were both returning teams, both looking to come back to victory, and they both got knocked out in the semis.
Yes. And who will be Omega Redemption facing in the finals?
They will be going against Wombats, and the Wombats have been an unstoppable force as well.
Yes, the other Titan in this league. From what I've been hearing, it was Wombats Obfuscation that nobody really wanted to go up against. Omega Redemption unfortunately had to challenge Obfuscation, and as we saw, took him down in a 4-2 victory. Yes, 4-2 victory. And now they have to go up against another Titan of the field. But, Ryan, as we always do, you know it, I know it, there's the golden hammer to be given out. I've given out the past few, so I think it's about time for me to spread it around. Who would you say from Omega Redemption is most deserving of the golden hammer right now?
So, most of the time, I will be saying this, I was talking about Dark Zephyr. The Pharah play was amazing, challenging Mev, especially on the Sojourn. Dark Zephyr had a big impact of this game, but honestly, I think a bigger impact came out from SR. SR was there. They're the hidden thorn in Obfuscation. They were getting at least 1 to 2 picks. They were taking out the Mercy almost every single time, and they were, I mean, let's just say it, SR was spawn camping Fulligan on Coliseum. I mean, that's massive on a map like that where it's all about time and getting the push. So I honestly think SR gets the Golden Hammer MVP for this match.
Alright, congrats to SR for that. And do we want to see if someone from Omega Redemption wants to make their case for the finals?
I want to say typically yes, but I don't think I can able to. Most because everyone, I have a baby with me right now, so I don't think I can.
Alright.
But we will. We will make sure. I mean, everyone watching, the finals are coming up. We're gonna have the Wombats versus Omega Redemption, battle of the top teams coming down. You know, we had 9 weeks. Yes, 9 weeks of game. Already two different rounds of right. Two rounds of play-ins for the playoffs, and now we're coming down to the final. So these teams are playing for a custom Golden Hammer Gaming plaque sent out to each team, customized for their teams, which is a really nice reward. We do it every single year, and it's going to be going to either the Wombats or Mega Redemption.
Mm-hmm. Good luck to either of these teams coming up. I think Wombats will be slightly favored, just due to their, I think, undefeated run for the most part during the regular season. I don't think they have had much trouble throughout this playoffs, if I remember correctly.
No, by far, and I will say, watching Omega Redemption, I mean, from the beginning of the season that we casted them till now, they look like a revitalized roster. They look way better. They're very coordinated, and honestly, they could give the Wombats a run for their money.
Mm-hmm.
So, but with that, we thank you all staying out here. We had another Map 6 match tonight. Tune in next week, either hopefully Sunday, but we'll see what the teams pick out for the finals coming up here for Golden Hammer Gaming Season 6. I'm Ryan, and I'm here with Gambito, and we thank you all for coming.
Goodbye.
Have a good night.